Hey everyone, welcome back to another Blast from the Past figure review, G.I.Joe Classified Edition. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of the more popular troop builders in the G.I.Joe franchise, especially Cobra, specifically Cobra, the B.A.T. The B.A.T. is an acronym. B.A.T. stands for Battle Android Trooper, and its origins are vary depending on the media. In the cartoon, I believe it was a joint project between Dr. Mindbender and Scrap Iron, whereas in the comics, it was entirely Mindbender. The Bat was released in the 1986 wave, I'm pretty sure, of A Real American Hero, and was instantly popular. Sold out pretty much everywhere. I was lucky to get a hold of one when I was a kid, but most of my friends were not so lucky. He was very hard to get a hold of. Very popular. Especially the swappable hands and stuff that made him super popular. And he's been pretty much a popular figure in G.I. Joe in various forms ever since. The standard Bat, as you can see in front of us, is black with yellow boots and belt and silver faceplate and kind of grayish arms. And there have been other colors of bats in the years since. There have been white Arctic bats and green jungle bats and red crimson bats and so on and so forth. And so far in Classified, we've got Python Patrol bats and crimson bats and Arctic bats. We haven't gotten jungle bats yet, but we probably will get those eventually because this is a popular figure and Hasbro likes to get the most out of their molds, so I can't imagine they'll pass up the opportunity to make a jungle bat at some point. But today we're going to take a look at the original Bat. As you can see, I have two of them. I tend to troop build in twos rather than any more than that. I don't really want to throw that much money. Like, I know some people who get 10, 20, 30 of these things. I really don't want to put that much money into it, and I don't really have the space, to be honest. I mean, as you can see from the picture here, this one is in the package still. I actually did have them out and displayed at one point, but as I collected more figures, I ran out of space, so I put him away and just kept out the other one. So, but I thought it would be good to bring, I had him up in storage with the other boxes. So every week I'll go up and, because it's a 3-story house, every week I'll go up to the top floor to get the boxes for the figures I'm going to be reviewing that week and bring them down to the bottom floor where I do my reviews. And so this time when I went up to get the Bats box, I decided to bring the one with the figure in it as well, so you could see how it looks in the package, since I usually do these with the figure already out. So we'll take a look at that first very quickly. So as you can see, the Bat in all its plastic and prison glory. Got all those accessories on the side here, one over here, the backpack, gun, 2 chest pieces, an extra head, and his arm attachments, as well as the backpack there. So that's the Bat with the figure in it, the box with the figure in it, rather. And here's the box with the figure out of it, and you see the big Cobra symbol in the background. This is the Classified Series Bat. There's a image of the Bat with the damaged head attachment. Number 33 in the line. legalese on the bottom. There is his file card information. Another picture of the bat. And then on the back we have the collage photo of all the different figures. And let's see, we're doing the next Sunday, figure number 34 is the Alley Viper. So next Sunday we'll finally do the Alley Viper and have finished the whole collage. We'll have reviewed one of every character on here, at least one. Because I've reviewed a couple of Vipers already. I reviewed the Crimson Viper. I've also reviewed a couple of Fireflies, a couple of Televipers. So yeah, we'll have done one of every figure on the collage next week when we get the Alley Viper out of the way. So there's the Battle Android Trooper box. And then here's the figure itself. As you can see, if you had the figure in the 80s, this is a pretty faithful recreation. They did not go very far outside of the box on this one, which is what some people wanted, but there were some people that wanted more like modernized look on some of these figures. I count myself among that group. I would have liked to have the standard releases be like a modern update on the figure, and then the retro releases could be the classic, a Real American Hero 1980s action figure style. I think that's the way they should do it. I think they got a lot of criticism originally with the first couple of waves with all the Nerf guns and the designs that were later used for the Blackout video game. I think that was one of the major causes of concern. And because of that criticism, they just went the other direction, started making like almost 100% faithful reproductions of the 1980s figures. But some of us wanted something in between. I think at the time they weren't that sold on the retro line, but now they seem to be embracing it more, so maybe we'll see more outlandish designs going forward for the standard line, and then more the classic look for the retro. Like, we haven't gotten a retro bat. I don't think we're going to, because this is a pretty... I don't know how you can get more retro than this, unless you give him the clear chest piece, because he doesn't come with a clear chest piece, and the original one did. But aside from that, I can't think of another way you would make this more retro. So it's got a lot of good detail in it. It's got those grenades on his chest harness there. You can see the design inside the chest cavity, the circuits and whatnot. Two of them painted yellow and the one painted red there. There is nice paint all around on this figure. They put the paint where it needed to go. They didn't like waste anything. Anything that could have been painted pretty much got painted, like this part on this back there. This collar is painted silver. The clasps there are both painted, so that's nice. And the belt buckle's painted. He's got a pouch there, and this is attached to his side, of course, and he's got paint on that strap there. Now, as far as overlays go, the belt is the only overlay, and it's attached to the holster, so if you wanted to take it off, you have to take the whole thing off. This looks like it was a separate piece. It's not part of the sculpt, but it's glued on there, so it won't come off. And then this is part of the sculpt, so that won't come off either. But this is his only overlay. And yeah, none of these pieces here are overlays or anything like that. But yeah, there's some really good designs on here. I think a nice, like, a nice wash would really bring out more of the design, especially on the arms. The body not so much because it's black, but the arms, yeah, and the boots, it could give a little bit of a wash just to bring out the detail a bit more. I would have liked the arms to have been the same color as that right there, rather than that. It's more of a gray compared to the silver, shiny silver. That looks more like metal than this. This is obviously plastic. But yeah, like this faceplate. If they had made the arms the same color as this faceplate, that would have been nice. Yeah. But anyway, articulation-wise, the bat can look down about that far. It can look up about that far. You can do the Exorcist. And got some tilt. You see, he's got the butterfly joint there at the shoulder. Got pretty good range out of his. Some figures don't get as much range, but he gets pretty good range out of his there. His arm can go all the way around. You can T-pose up about 90, maybe a little bit more. He's got the double jointed arms. And strangely enough, they are pinless. Like, you could have justified putting a pin there because you could have said it was part of the build of the robot. It was like a bolt holding the arm together, but they went pinless, so that's interesting. Oh, he does have a bicep cut too. I didn't point that out right away. He's got side-to-side joints on both of his wrists. And that finger's kind of loose. I'm gonna be careful with that. He does have an ab crunch. And you can get about that far forward with it. And you can get back about that far there. You can twist a little bit. You got some ratcheting there you can hear. The belt rather doesn't hamper the drop down hip at all, so that's good. He can get the Van Damme splits, although that kind of messes with the holster, but let's just straighten the leg out again and fix it itself. He's got the upper thigh cut. You get more out of it on this side. He does have double jointed pinless knees. They're a little tight. It's been a while since I moved this guy around. And it gets cold here in the UK. So these guys tend to freeze up a little bit in the wintertime. He's got a boot cut, which is nicely hidden by the top of the boot there. And then his foot goes back about that far and forward about that far. He's got rocker and peg holes in the bottom. Accessories wise, he does come with a couple of chest plate options. First, he has this damaged chest piece part, which looks like it's got a couple of slashes there. Like maybe this guy went one-on-one with Snake Eyes. He also has a impact damage there, like Sergeant Slaughter punched him right in the chest or something. And you can snap that into place easily enough right there. It goes on pretty easily, comes off pretty easily, but it's not gonna like fall off on you, so it's easier if you have fingernails. He also has this undamaged chest piece. And there have been some people online who have made the clear plastic one that the original came with, so you might be able to find something like that on Etsy or eBay or whatever. If that's your bag, if you want to have your bat wearing one of those instead. So yeah, there you have him with the undamaged piece. He also comes with an extra head. And as you can see, sorry about all the hair he wears, that comes with having cats. You can see there's not any damage on this side, looks pretty normal, but then yeah, you got it. He's got his eyes exposed there, and scratches and cracks along the front of his faceplate there, and then of course the shell on the top of his head is peeled away, showing the Terminator-esque skull underneath. And you can pop that on. I said you can pop that on. Yeah, there we go. And then that goes along with the, let's take that off again. The damaged chest plate to give you a bat in despair and distress. But as you've seen in the cartoon and in the comics, they can sustain quite a bit of damage before they're inoperable, so that's good for Cobra. I don't know why they didn't give him the clear chest piece. I don't get what the reasoning behind that was. Like, they should have, I guess because they figured the damaged chest piece would make sense if his chest piece was clear. Like, if it was clear and got damaged, it would probably just break and shatter into pieces and wouldn't be on his chest anymore. So that's probably why they went with the all black one instead. I like it. I don't mind not being able to see the guts inside, because you can always just display them like that if you want. I don't see the reason for a clear piece at all there if you want to display them like this. Next, he comes with a backpack, and this is unique to the Bats. No one else has this style backpack. It's pretty much molded in all black plastic with some detail there. And it's got these canisters on the side here with hoses leading to nowhere, pretty much. I guess you assume they hook into the Bat's back when he's got the backpack on his back. It also has 3 slots, 2 on the inside and 1 on the outside, for his various interchangeable hands, and we'll go over that now. First, we've got this, and when I was a kid, I thought this was a drill, because it looks kind of like a drill, but it's a laser gun. He uses it as a laser gun, both in the cartoon and in the comics. I believe they use it as a laser gun in the cartoon. I can't remember. It's been so long since I saw that cartoon. I can't remember if he used this at all. Did they have the attachment in the cartoon? I can't remember now. For some reason, all I remember is them using their just bare hands. But yeah, you can pop out his hands on either side, and these plug in. Now, they don't have hinge joints, obviously, and he's got a peg hole in the front. And now that we have blast effects, you can stick a blast effect in there. He also comes with a claw, a gripping claw, and yeah, I do believe they did have this in the cartoon at one point. Unfortunately, it's not articulated. That would have been nice if they had made it so the claw opened and closed, but it doesn't do that. And that's too bad. That was a missed opportunity there, Hasbro. I'm gonna stick the claw in there now. The nice thing about the claws, though, is if you pop another figure's head off, you can stick this around the neck and then pop the head back on, and it looks like he's choking the guy. So it works pretty well like that. And then finally, we have my favorite attachment, the flamethrower. And with Torch recently being given a digital render, shown a digital render for G.I.Joe Day on February 1st, we now know we're getting flame effects. So Torch comes with 3 of them, which means you can let your Bat borrow one if you want, because Torch can't use all 3 of them at the same time. This is how I usually have him displayed, with the flamethrower attachment. So it'd be nice to finally get flame effects that I can plug into the bottom there. Finally, the Bat comes with a handgun. And this is not... I don't think this has been reused anywhere else outside of the Battle Android Troopers. I think all 3 versions that we've gotten so far have come with this, the Arctic and the Crimson and the original. I'm not sure about the other 2. Oh, and Python Patrol, I forgot there's 4 versions. It's got a peg hole in the end for blast effects, and it's pretty well detailed for such a small thing. So, normally I don't like the guns made out of gray plastic, but this one's not too bad. It still probably would have looked better in black. And that slides into his holster here. Snaps into place. And I can put his hands back on, or at least one of them. And then usually with this, you stick the claw in one side and just push it straight down. And the hand goes in the other side. Like that. And then you can stick the laser in the bottom. I usually put the laser on the outside because it's easier to pull it out from the outside here. If you stick it in here, it's harder to get a hold of it because of the smoothness. It's harder to like really grip a hold of that, get something to grab onto. These are easier to just pull out when you want to pull them out of there. And then the backpack goes on his back. So, there you have the Cobra Bat. Cobra Bat came out early in 2022, I believe, along with the Alley Viper. They were released in tandem, pretty much. And sold out relatively quickly in most places, I imagine. I saw a lot of people complaining about not being able to find them. And that was annoying, based on Hasbro not making enough at the time, as well as we were still having some distribution issues from the pandemic in early 2022. So there was also that issue as well. But then Hasbro overcorrected, and now we've got like figures clogging the pegs. So I think they're going to be kind of dialing that back again this year a little bit. Not to like pandemic levels, but it's definitely not going to... They're definitely not going to be as many figures, I don't imagine. Or they'll at least gauge interest on their Pulse website. And figures that sell out like immediately, they'll probably make more of. But figures that are like kind of stick around for months, they probably won't make too many more of. So I wouldn't sit on my hands, for too long, picking up figures in the future. You might want to, if you have the money and want the figure, I would buy it immediately, or at least pre-order it, not wait around. Some of them will probably make it to Ollie's and Ross, that's for sure. I mean, the Crimson Guard is my personal favorite troop builder, and it ended up showing up in Ollie's and Ross, so that was surprising. But I think that's just because they made so many of them. I don't think we'll see that as much going forward, at least not with the troop builders. So you're definitely going to want to get your orders in for troop builders and such like that going forward. I don't foresee too many of these figures this year, over the next few years rather, making it to the discount stores, because I don't think they're making as many now. But there we have the Bat. Let me know down below what you think. Were you able to get a hold of a Bat? Did you have to buy them on eBay or from some other third-party seller? What do you think of the Bat? Which version is your favorite? I'll be reviewing the other three over the coming weeks, but I like the Arctic Bat the best. I just like the way it looks and the design. And I think the fact that they made a separate head for it, a different head, was really a good idea. I wish they had done that for the Python Patrol and the Crimson Bats. They also gave it the chainsaw attachment, which was nice. I wish they had done something... Again, I wish they had done something similar with the Crimson Bat and the Python Patrol Bat. They need to do more of that. Not just give us straight-up repaints, but put different accessories in there. And I don't mean like accessories lifted from another figure. I mean accessories specific to that character would be nice. So that's my take on it anyway. So there's the Bat. Like and subscribe. Next week, Blast in the Past will be Alley Viper. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.